everyone is talking about a rigged election, and Trump, you say was a rigged election, right?
It was totally rigged.
Right.
The whole thing.
And they're talking about Dominion vote counters and all that kind of stuff. But I've never been on that side. I've always said, stuffing a ballot box or Dominion or voter ID or mail-in ballots or, voting a month before Election Day. It's maybe something there, but got some conspiracy theory stuff to it. What I've always said about the election, the last presidential election, in terms of rigging, is not ballot boxes, but big tech and news agencies and CIA and FBI, what they did. Because you can harvest some ballots and stuff some boxes and stuff, or you can do a kind of concerted lie and get people to change their minds or not change their minds, and something is going on. So remember, there was the clip, or there was the document that 51 Intel experts signed that say that Hunter Biden's laptop had all the earmarks of Russian collusion. And I was like, well, the FBI has his laptop and has had it for over a year by the time the letter comes out. So couldn't they have verified it? But they didn't. And how do the people who are signing the letter know whether it's Russian collusion or not when they haven't examined anything? But this was a story that was going to come out, and then later on, the New York Post put the story out, and then Twitter took it down, and this was the sort of election rigging that went on, not the stuffing of the ballot boxes. But there's a story from last week John Solomon's going to report and basically explain the story.
Here is the news. Just a short while ago, Just the News obtained this email. This is a very important email. It comes from the former CIA director, Mike Morrell. Yes, the guy that organized that letter from the 51 intelligence professionals who tried to fake you into thinking that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation when it wasn't. It is between him and John Brennan, one of the signatories. You know who John Brennan is? He was Obama's CIA director, right? He's the guy that told Obama, hey, Hillary Clinton is doing a dirty trick on Donald Trump called Russia collusion. Well, this is just before the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Hunter Biden's laptop is flinging out there. This is what Mike Morrell, former CIA director, tells his successor, John Brennan. Hey, sign this letter because I'm, quote, trying to give the campaign, particularly during the debate on Thursday, a talking point to push back on Trump on this issue. A man with a security clearance, a man with the title of CIA director, knew that he wasn't creating an intelligence product, a Merrick civic duty with 51 people. He was trying to create a political moment. Damning evidence. We'll try to find out if Congress has this letter, but this is a very important piece. It is the ultimate proof that what went out on that letter was a political dirty trick coordinated with the Biden campaign.
And we have the actual debate. So the CIA basically goes, oh, this looks shitty for our side. I don't know why they're taking a side. Our guy. So let's create a document. And then you guys who are very esteemed, all former directors, FBI and CIA, you guys will all sign this document. And we'll have an official document that says it's a bullshit story. And then when the debate comes in 2 days, then Biden can say there's a document where all these people have disavowed this fake news.
Yeah.
That's CIA on CIA and FBI and all of them. And Brennan signed the letter. They all signed the letter. There were some people who didn't sign the letter because they had integrity and they were like, I haven't seen the laptop, so how do I know it's fake? Yeah. But most people just signed it, and then we have a document, and then there's a debate, and then Trump brings up in the debate, the greatest part about the debate, it's not Trump, it's not Biden, it's not Hunter Biden's laptop, it's not the letter, it's not any of it. It's the person who's conducting the debate wanting to get back to the subject of race. She just keeps going, we're going to talk about race. Like we have to debate the race. I'm against it. Enough. I'm for it. But so then 2 days later, after this document has been created, by the CIA director and then circulated so all the big names can sign off on it. Then it's given to Biden to use against Trump for the debate.
Nice.
Nobody's
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue.
Laptop from hell.
President Trump, we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race. President Trump,
I
you've
have
just
to respond to that.
Please,
because look,
very quickly.
there are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the five former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
That's exactly what.
Is this
that's
where you're
exactly
going?
what.
This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia,
Gentlemen,
Russia.
I want to stay on the issue of race.
You
okay?
We got to talk about race.
Yeah.
All right. That would have changed a lot of votes. And statistically, they've done polling, and there are a lot of people said, oh, no, I wouldn't have voted for Biden if we'd known about the laptop. But the laptop was fucking deep six, and the whole story was by the fucking CIA, and nobody gives a shit.
Yep.
That's exactly what they did. They created a fake document and got a bunch of former CIA guys to sign it, and America's not interested.
I'd like to talk about race right now, though. Because
Doesn't that seem like election tampering a little bit there?
a lot of it.
Yes. All right. Well, there it is, everyone. And all the people. And so here's the thing. The left used to care deeply about this kind of stuff. They don't give two shits about it. It was, I grew up in a hippie house. It was big state and big government, the CIA and the FBI and all this, and don't trust those people. And that's all they cared about. Now, not interested.
If I'd have had to have worded that email, instead of "can I add your name to this list," I just would have said, "I'm going to add this name to your list unless you respond saying don't." Right? That's the classic way of just building and building.
Yeah. So the LA Times should be doing a whole expose on this, but they're not interested because their guy won. And my whole thing is your guy won, so you're not interested. But spare me when you're talking about democracy. And what you're interested in, and voting, and freedom, and democracy hanging by a thread. Fucking spare me your sanctimonious speeches about that. That's all I'm saying. Because this did interfere with democracy.
I do love Trump's use of threes, though. Russia. It's a classic. Girls. Nude.
Is this what he's doing again?
It's Marsha.
Marsha. She was hit in the nose by a football. Looks disgusting now. She looks like a pig.
Yeah. You know, my favorite episode of any sitcom is when something didn't exist for the first 3 seasons and then it exists. And it's like 3 seasons of The Partridge Family, and I tune into an episode on season 4, and the manager, Reuben Kincaid, is sitting in the kitchen smoking. Oh. Right? And I go, he doesn't smoke. I've never seen him smoke before. It's not been brought up, but he's just smoking, you know? And then at some point, Danny comes in and gets some chocolate cake. And he's like, Danny, you're putting on some pounds. You better take it easy with that chocolate cake. And he goes, I can quit eating chocolate cake anytime I want. And then he goes,
this is going.
You can't quit smoking cigarettes anytime you want. And he goes, you kidding me? I could throw the pack away today. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's why he's smoking. But he never smoked. Yeah. And the best Brady Bunch episode is when they're playing ball in the house and they break the vase.
Yeah, Mom always said,
don't play ball in the house. Right. And then this 3 seasons of her never bringing the vase up or discussing the vase, she comes in the front door and goes, oh, my vase. Oh, I miss you. You know, then picks it up and says, we're going to put it in the center of the table. It's like, hey, bitch, you've never brought up the vase ever before.
Right, yeah.
Now you're obsessed with the vase, and Reuben Kincaid is smoking, and I'm crying foul.
That Brady Bunch house, you know, they redid it. The exterior is in like Studio City, and they built it so the whole thing when you walk in is exactly like the show. Because before
it's sold. It's in like Toluca Lake or something, or Studio City. Yeah, it's sold recently.
They should make that a museum or some kind of make money off that. Maybe they are. I don't know.
I would be worried about designating anything as like a historical monument anymore, because at some point, some snot-nosed 19-year-olds are going to show up and want to tear it down because it represents white orthodoxy or something, intact families.
It does represent the patriarchy.
It's the patriarchy. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. But it is funny that the poor woman who's doing the moderating is like, can we get back to talking about race?
Yeah.
We're going to argue about race for a while.
I want everyone upset about race again.
All right. What do you got for news, Kimbles?
All right. So, obviously, big story from where I'm from this weekend was the coronation of King Charles III.
Beautiful.
Anyone watch it?
Oh, so gorgeous.
My dad called me and said, are you going to watch it, the King's coronation? I said, I didn't know he died. But not his cremation, his coronation. No one cares. Turns out I didn't watch it. No, half of England didn't either. There was a survey that said 64% of don't care. And I think that's best summed up by the picture you're about to see. There was a very posh area of Bath called Royal Crescent that was hosting a big coronation party, and they woke up on the day before to see this.
Giant penis.
A gigantic cock and balls. That's about as British as you get. You can see how posh that area is as well.
Yeah.
So I know people talk about the pomp and pageantry. Now it's pomp, pageantry, and penises, I guess.
Wow, that is a 40-foot cock.
That's well done.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Positive.
It looks like my 6-year-old. It looks like my 7-year-old drew it. It's very straight.
But the lines are
Where's all the fun stuff?
straight.
Where's the jizz and the,
It does go. It does go to answer that age-old question.
If my husband drew it, a grown man, there'd be jizz and pubes and the whole thing.
It does go to answer the age-old question of the dick on the mailbox, where you spoke with Kimmel and said, "Well, when in Europe, because they're largely uncut, do they graffiti a cut penis?" And they did.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
There you go.
Yeah. I thought that maybe when they drew penises in Europe, they drew the foreskin. That's what I thought.
Well, that's an erect penis, and then the top comes out doesn't it? I don't know. I'm just saying.
We got to ask the guys in the Hilton Hotel with the doobie.
Get the dark web out. Google it.
Yeah. So they... I think they said they mowed in a giant, but is that mowed in, or do they use some sort of fertilizer or something to kill the grass or
mowed
something?
In apparently the night before the gardeners, but I think it was Prince Edward on the slide.
Mm-hmm.
We did the greatest senior prank where we got snow and we made this big penisicle. It was like 6 feet high in the center courtyard, and then we poured water on it, so it became like a penisicle. And then the vice principal came out, and the whole school's watching her trying to kick it down because she knew karate, but she couldn't. Mm-hmm. Then she had to get a bat. It was one of the funniest things.
She had to take a bat to it?
She had to come out with a bat, and just the whole school. It just was the greatest prank. Anyway, a good penis prank.
Good penis prank.
Good, terrific penis prank.
Yeah. It's almost like did the royal family know that they weren't going to get enough worldwide press? Therefore, let's do other things just to help the trending on the Twitter the day of.
I don't know. Was there acrimony? Did Prince Andrew or Prince whoever? Oh God,
Prince Andrew, yeah.
Harry and Meghan? Did they show up? I know Meghan stayed behind.
Yeah, Harry showed up for about 8 hours.
No one said hello to me.
It did not. It was not. I don't think that it was pouring with rain as it always is. It was not the experience that I think everyone wanted, because there was a concert as well.
Lionel Richie.
Yes. So there was a concert with Katy Perry. Do you have the video of Katy Perry? This was the most viral moment of the whole show. So this is her at the event trying to find her seat.
Oh yeah, she can't find her seat, and she's got a hat that's not helping her because she has no peripheral vision.
She can't see 60% of it.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of Duke and Duchesses everywhere, and then Katy Perry, for some reason, just walking around by herself looking for her seat.
To be fair to Katy Perry, who always looks like she's thinking about something stupid, it's hard. I've done enough of those things where you go, you're table 26, and you go, table 2's there, but then right next to it's table 149.
Yeah.
And I go, well, where's table? Oh, there's table 22. So 20. Oh, no. Table 9 is next to table 22. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, you want some sequencing or some
Yeah.
rhyme or some reason? Like, we go, you want to go, like, you're driving through Santa Monica and someone says, we're on 7th Street. And you go, okay, this is 11th. Oh, that's 10th. Okay, I'm going the right direction. They don't do that. And it's always kind of random who's at the table. Like,
Yeah.
you show up and you judge. Like, I don't know that dude.
Yeah.
Why did he sit me with Kimmel over there? Why am I sitting with this dude?
Like whoever got put next to Katy Perry was probably offended, saying, of all the most important people in England I get put next to, you put me next to Katy Perry.
I think the people who sat next to Katy Perry probably looked at it as a victory, but Katy Perry was pissed off that she didn't recognize whoever's at her table.
Yeah.
Did she sit with anybody good? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
She never found her table.
She never, yeah,
she's
yeah.
still looking.
She
Did
just went
she
and hid.
performed did Lionel Richie
Yeah, so
perform?
the two headliners of arguably one of the biggest shows in the world of the night were Lionel Richie and Katy Perry. Two Americans, one from Alabama, one from California.
Is Lionel
So literally-
Richie 74 now?
Yes. So he got a lot of shit for the way he looked. I think we've got a picture there.
Oh, let's see that. Oh, yeah, he looks.
He looks.
all
Well, this is
right.
the British, right? The British don't love that anyone that a 73-year-old that's trying to keep up and
If you're black, you can dye your hair for like another 20
yeah,
years
that
before
is
you get
true.
shit. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
yeah.
Eddie Murphy can have jet black hair for the next 2 centuries,
Yeah,
and
right.
no one's ever going to say anything. White guys start looking weird at a certain point. And I mean, is Lionel Richie? He's over 70.
yes, I
Right?
think he looks amazing.
He has fillers though, for sure.
Oh, I think that's what they don't like. That's what the British people don't like. He just doesn't look like himself. He's too overdone. I think he looks incredible.
73 years young.
No British people wanted to perform on this. The people that said no, Elton John, Spice Girls, Adele, Ed Sheeran,
What?
Harry Styles.
They said no? Why?
They all said no. Well,
because it's a bad look.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? But the fact is, the two headliners were Americans, Lionel Richie and Katy Perry. Like, come on. That's painful.
What did he sing? Dancing on the Ceiling or what are his classics?
I don't know. I didn't watch
Must
it.
have done
That's how
Brick
much I
House.
cared.
Probably did some Commodore stuff too.
Oh, that's all right. Good stuff.
He I don't know. I feel like the Spice Girls should have been forced to perform.
Yes.
like you know how the government can just take land if they're building a freeway?
Yeah.
Or like that's how we got Dodger Stadium. They were like, "Hey, Mexicans, sorry. Whitey wants to build a stadium, so take your shit and pack it up, and here's $100. Like
Jerry and her little her little Union Jack.
I'd be
dress.
like,
That's what
listen,
it's all
you
about.
talentless bitches are fucking lucky to be alive. Like, come on. You guys have gotten so much out of this. First off, if you were from Bakersfield, no one would give a fuck about you. You don't have enough ability. You're basically, what you have is you're from England and you're not fat. And someone gave you a cool name. And now we all bought into it. But you have not earned the right to turn
no
your
to the
back on the
king.
monarchy. You cannot say no to the king.
That's what
Yeah.
struck me about this was the lack of power. Because it used to be the church and the king was all the power in the empire. And now both have lost so much of their power, but they still have this pomp and circumstance thing.
Elton
Also-
John is Sir Elton John.
Yeah.
So I'd like, if you like that knighthood,
Yeah, you've got
Bro,
to work for the king.
then show up when the king calls once every 14 years. If not, we'll just call you Johnny.
Yeah, it was
We'll
embarrassing.
we'll take the Sir away.
Can you imagine how star-studded this show had been had Who Diana still been around? It would
Oh
have
my
been
God.
a completely different show.
I have a show idea where you I don't want to talk about it, but you deep fake like an alternate world, like a butterfly effect, and Diana was getting crowned yesterday or whatever, 2 days ago. Someone could take that if you want. I'm too lazy.
We have a clip of Lionel Richie.
No,
Very good.
no.
Maybe the fillers
Kermit the Frog was brought up a lot
blocking
on
some
Twitter.
stuff for him. All right, so the Spice Girls should have been forced to perform. Like just dragged out in leg irons and just said, fucking bitches, start
Or
dancing.
off
Yeah.
with your head. And
They're
then
off
it's
with your
a
head. This
public
country's done
head
so
cut-off.
much for your untalented asses. And Elton John should have had his Sir
Yes.
taken away if
Yeah.
he refused
Like,
to do
where
it.
was Paul McCartney? Where was, where's
Oh,
there's
yeah.
some classics that should have been there. I think Stella McCartney, his daughter and the designer,
She was gonna sing?
she read a poem. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they were mad at him. It seems like they were mad at him.
Yeah, well, even at the last minute, Kylie Minogue, who's not big over here, but she's a British institution. She pulled out.
Is it the racist thing?
Yes,
that's
she
on
pulled
there?
out because she's been getting a lot of backlash from Australia, which is her native country, due to everything that the kind of racist comments that Charles has said or not said recently. So yeah. How desperate you have to be if you're the King of England and you can't even get Harry Styles to perform at your concert? Like he was reaching for British artists there at the bottom.
I think he's too cool
Rough.
for school, and I think there's a calculation, which is he seems cooler to turn it down than he would to do it because it's going to be a little bit lame,
Definitely
right?
Cooler turned down. It's not going to help you. Like, wow, that performance got me more
Right.
fans.
Yeah.
But that must have been hard for Charles to be like, oh, he's not doing it either. What about Paul? No, sir, Paul's not going to do it.
Couldn't they have cobbled together like the rest of One Direction with like two Spice Girls who are willing to take a payday, like
Right.
just some sort of sloppy,
Done like an American
a
Idol
couple of
thing and-
sloppy
yeah.
seconds super group,
Yes.
and just be like a couple of Backstreet Boys.
That's a
that are-
great name, Sloppy
Yeah.
Seconds, for a group of just people no one remembers.
Yeah, we just take
Susan Boyle.
whoever Susan Boyle could come out there, whatever band Justin Timberlake left, and whatever band Harry Styles left, and a couple of Spice Girls, and maybe the cop from the Village People or something. We put together our sloppy second group, and they just do all their hits. I'd watch
It's
that.
just awful. It's just terrible.
It's terrible.
Another thing that struck me was how much he looked like a woman. When they the dress they put him in, and then
I thought you were talking about Lionel Richie. Yeah. You're talking about
Charles,
the king.
yeah. And then he's like bejeweled. He just looked like he went to his mother's closet and got her clothes and hat and said, "Look at pretty me."
But you know what I like? I'll tell you what I do like about this with all the siblings and infighting and all that kind of stuff. It's like they try to give they gave Carrie Fisher her star on the Walk of Fame, and then her siblings weren't invited because her daughter was pissed at them because they wrote a book, and it's like, I just love the fact that there's no such thing as family that doesn't have a bunch of people that hate and are boycotting, and like your dad or your uncle or whoever is going to be the king and you're not attending, and your sister's getting a star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame and you'll not be there. Yeah. Like, it's crazy how fucking pervasive that is, right? Every family has a story. I don't know why it's almost a prerequisite for like a family and or a successful family, especially. There's some ne'er-do-well brother or dad or sister, or somebody's pissed off, somebody wrote a book, they're not invited.
Megan's dad too.
Yes, it's just... Why is that? Why is that? Why is that nature's plan? Why is that nurture's plan? Why is that God's plan? Like, why is that a through line that is as common as it is?
Especially with the royal family, because like William was born knowing it was always going to be him, and all the other, and Harry and everyone else knows it was always going to be him, and they still hate each other. They still can't figure it out, even though it's written from the second they're born.
Yes,
it's horrific.
I agree.
Families.
It's always something with everybody all the time. But why?
My family's pretty, but maybe if like someone got really successful, we'd start fighting.
Oh yeah, if you became successful,
popped off on the podcast.
And listen, I've spoken to a couple of your family members. They're not
ready to go.
They're not. You're not as popular as you think you are with them. That's all I'm saying.
That's hard to hear.
That's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you for being
but it could go no other way.
Yeah.
It just can't go any other way. Don't know why.
I think it's because when you were kids and you saw each other's shit. You saw the worst sides of each other. You've literally seen you at your lowest low, right? And then you see them have success, or you see whatever else going to happen. You think, why is this happening to my shitty little brother that used to ruin my life? It's got to be that.
You know what it is? I have this ability, other people don't. People don't have the ability to just keep walking. Like people go, are you pissed off? You heard what he said about, I go, I don't care. I just don't care. I'm interested in other stuff. And they go, you should care because this person's talking shit or this person wants you to do that, but you shouldn't do it. Like, everyone's got a fucking opinion and everyone's like, oh yeah, I am upset. Just fucking keep walking. It's like Carrie Fisher's brother wrote a book. Don't read it. Just fucking keep walking. Yeah. Get involved with your own family, your own hobbies, your own interests. You can't. Everyone has to stop, get offended. And it's the same with the talent. Like, hey, Harry Styles or hey, Spice Girls or whatever. It's a gig. Just play. It's not an endorsement. You know what I mean? And by the way, if the fucking, whoever the brutal dictator of whatever Arab country waved $6 million at you, you'd be on the next fucking flight out there to suck his dick. So don't give me this fucking holier than thou shit. It's a gig. Go do 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all. Anyway, can't do it.
Can't do it.
Nobody can do it. Won't do it.
Won't do it. Can't do it.
So that was the coronation. Okay. Next news. So there was a judge in Ohio that ruled that a trans woman, Rachel Glines, did not commit indecent exposure in a female changing room because the defense argued that the body fat covered their genitalia.
Interesting.
It's a little insulting. You know what I mean? Like when, if I'm your attorney, Kyle, and I'm like, he's got the mentality of a 9-year-old. He didn't know it was wrong to stab that person. Kyle is just he thinks he's a simpleton. You know what I mean? He's not up to the challenge of he doesn't know right from wrong because he's such an imbecile.
That would be hard to take.
But you'd have to just sit there and kind of nod your head. Your sloppy gunt panis is so prodigious that it slops over your cock and balls. Like your dick is so small and your panis is so large and flappy that it literally shades your cock so it can't be seen.
What you've opened up is now you've got to show that. Like you have to now take off your clothes and show the jury in order for that to work.
Yes, there is a thing on men that are very overweight called a panis. And that is that sloppy curtain that sort of can drape down
and it's a fupa on a woman, right? And it's called a fupa on a woman.
Right? It is a fupa.
Isn't that a black clothing line?
No, that's fupa.
Are you sure?
A fupa is fat upper pussy area.
Yeah, fat upper pussy area.
A fupa. Yeah. But a panis stands for what?
Panis.
Panis.
I think it's a panis. No, it's not an acronym.
Oh, it's not. It's just panis.
No, it's a for us, by us. FUBU.
Wait. No, FUBU, I guess.
Oh, you got FUBU. I thought we were talking about FUBU.
We were, but
the black community.
Panis.
Wait, can we go back to guns? Because that was growing too.
Oh, yeah, guns.
All right. So the FUBAR fucked up beyond all recognition.
FUBAR.
What is it? The puffy pussy, whatever, the fupa.
Fupa.
The fupa is just, puffy. The panis is a curtain of flab that hangs down.
Okay.
And when men are overweight to a large degree, they get higher levels of circulating estrogen and their dick shrinks. So you ever see like the fat guy in the wine? You're like, oh, he's fat and he has no dick? Like, no, that's just the fat around it and estrogen.
I thought that was like a perspective thing.
It's both.
Yeah.
Everything's
working against you.
Right. What's the definition of panis?
It is an unsightly bulge which folds over one's belt and or genitalia.
Okay, you were right.
I think I was fucking dead nuts on that one. Anyway, these gay guys were fucking in a hotel.
You coined the phrase gunt.
No,
didn't you?
I think
I thought you came up with gunt on the radio show.
I think Mike Tyson came up with gunt.
Gunt.
Or Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson, ever seen a gun?
That. Yeah, I don't like guns.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Must have been sad seeing that you impersonator choked out on the subway.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
sad, right? Mm-hmm.
So terrible.
Yeah.
They should let him go.
I got an uncle who's a Michael Jackson impersonator.
Do you really?
Yeah, he's just kind of a heavy-set white guy. He doesn't do the singing or anything. It's just the kids part. It just limits it.
I went all the way down that.
Oh, no, he can't move at all unless it's toward a kid. You know, yeah, it's pretty much just the kid part of the impersonation.
He's good at it.
He's
good.
You know, we're scared to bring it up, but that's what I've learned.
So he's the best. He's the best.
So I guess the argument of trans in toilets now isn't an issue as long as you're just fat.
If you have the panis and the panis slops over the penis,
it's better than pants.
Well,
what you can't see won't hurt you, right?
That's the whole thing, right? You're just looking at it. You don't see it. You don't see it.
Where's Dawson? He left the frame.
He's
well,
looking at his pants.
I invented a device on this program several months ago, which was a vest. A service vest for pre-op trannies so they could walk around in the locker room so we could identify them. And part of the device had a flap, like the old catcher's chest protector that flapped down in front of the cock and balls.
That's a good idea.
And we basically just had this judge tell me I was right. Like, as long as we can't see your genitalia. But here's the other thing. You can see the woman's titties and pussy, right? Like, isn't that still kind of a crime there? If you look at it that way.
This was in a locker room, so in theory, there's always, it's always the old ugly women walking around with their bits out.
What if I just tucked my cock and balls into a sock like I was in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I just walked into the locker room and checked you out when you're showering? Like, wouldn't that still be a crime? And I'd go, hey, can't see my cock.
What about adding to your panis flap, is what you've invented, basically, is the horse for the eyes.
Blinders?
Yeah, a little bit of, so you can't.
Oh, make the women wear blinders.
No, like a burk on the women. No, for the transitioning person, so they can't be. I guess you could still look around. That's a dumb idea.
That's a dumb idea.
I think all men should be forced to one. Honestly, no woman wants to see a penis ever. In the bathroom, anywhere. That's why we have sex in the dark.
That's so hurtful.
On a Friday night after 3 glasses of wine, I don't want to see the penis. I don't want to do it. I don't mind doing stuff where they just don't want to see it.
And men send out their penises so much, they don't know that the women don't, generally, unless they ask for it, you don't send your penis anywhere.
No.
You got any dick pics?
Do you know what? No, I have never had a dick pic.
All right, the day is young. See what I can work up. Kyle, can I borrow your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's down the hall.
Lift your penis.
You don't want to see our genitalia, huh?
Oh, God. I just want gut pics. Just gut pics, please. Just
penis pics?
Yeah. Some gunt pics would be
women
lovely.
wish we didn't have balls. Like, they wish they didn't exist.
Yeah, because I think they do like the penis, but it's outweighed by the atrocity of the balls.
Nope.
No?
And tell me if I'm wrong. They want like a shy penis that they feel like you don't want to see. You know, they're trying to hide it, but it's there.
We just want the abs and the ass and all of that. All of that is good. The other stuff is just what we have to work with. We have to work with that.
I've heard that before. Yeah. Women say it's just too big. They're worried about.
How do you spell panis?
Wait, let's do a test. I'm gonna say Panis, like a simple how it sounds.
I'm with you, but I maybe added an extra N.
Oh, a U for anus?
Extra...
maybe it's a
penis. Oh.
According to the Urban Dictionary, it is Pani. They don't have the P-I. Well, no, there's, Panis. It's in there, too.
Why is it in the Urban Dictionary?
Because it's not a real word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's what I thought.
You got to look it up because Dr. Drew, I only know about the panis because Dr. Drew brought up the panis.
I'll keep looking.
Back in the day.
Next time you need to make sure the lawnmower mows a gut over the penis.
No, that's right.
So the most hippie town in Washington outlaws drugs after ODs in the streets, fentanyl deaths of 5-year-old. And so this is Bellingham, and I know you've got some pretty kind of strong views on this. So it's now a crime to inject, or inhale hard drugs in public, or they're trying to make it one. I thought it was anyway, to be fair.
Well, we decided if we would decriminalize things, that it would be a better fit for our society. You know what? Well, we do a few things, because I grew up with one of these hippie families. they do, they go in Sweden and in Norway, but citizens of Sweden and Norway are not fucking animals. But turns out the United States, it's like these are the, like they will go, sometimes people go like, well, we have snacks in the front and we're on the honor system. So you can help yourself to a Snickers bar and then you just tuck $1 in there. That's fine if you work with sane, normal, honest people. That wouldn't work in a prison. Do you know what I'm saying? That one guy would just grab the fucking box, tear it apart, and leave and take the money that was in it and take all the fucking snacks, right? Yeah. That's who we are. So these other things where it's like, we're going to create safe zones where people can, inject their drugs. And that works for other societies. For us, it turns into an immediate shit show. Like, all we understand is cops, enforcement, and law. We can't let the homeless person, live in dignity. That's great. Never going to happen. All the plans, all the progressive plans are great plans if your citizens could pull it off.
Yeah.
But they can't. And the problem is the citizens that could pull it off are living indoors, sober, and paying taxes. They might be able to do it. The people you're asking to do it are junkies who are living in filth on the streets, and they're not going to do it. And that's the problem with every plan. It's like, we don't need cops. We'll have the cops pull back. We'll have community ambassadors. That's great, except for then there are gangbangers who don't look at that as a show of strength. They look at it as something to take advantage of.
Like licking their chops.
Whatever our plan is, whether it's like the border, the cops, or the drugs, or whatever, it's like, this people will do the right thing, so we don't need to enforce everything. It's clearly been shown now it's a shit show. Yeah. So we're now back to, Rudy Giuliani, New York, 1991, going, fuck it, we're hiring 1 million more cops. We're going to stop and frisk everybody.
In New York now?
It'll get back to that because everything else turns into a shit show.
I'm going there this summer, and I don't like what I'm seeing in the news.
That's right. Well, maybe Stallone, one of my favorite movies, Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he took care of...
Cobra is equal to 100 cops. So you only need 5 or 6 Cobras in New York.
One Cobretti is 1,000 cops.
Yeah, one Cobretti for every 10 square blocks.
Right.
You're all set.
You go in there with your pearl-handled pistol stuffed in your jeans.
And my scissors for my pizza slice.
You cut your pizza with the scissors. You got a match hanging out.
Yeah.
You're wearing reflective sunglasses.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I never understood about that movie, Sly?
What?
You go into a semi-dark supermarket to hunt down a criminal.
That's right. Good. The supermarket.
You got the sunglasses on indoors,
That's
right?
Yeah.
But then later on, you steal one of the guy's motorcycles and you take off down the highway on a sunny day, and you're not wearing sunglasses while riding a motorcycle. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to you because you don't understand the mind of Cobra. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying you wear sunglasses indoors, but then on a sunny day in California on an open highway, you're riding a motorcycle with no sunglasses.
Yeah, Cobra's got different moods. All right, he doesn't wake up every day, have the same thing. All right.
Okay.
You understand Cobra. That day Cobra wanted to see the sun. You understand?
Uh-huh.
The day Cobra was in the supermarket, he didn't want to see nothing.
Yeah.
He's having his male pyramid, if you know. The ladies have their pyramid.
I love...
And then Cobra has his own male pyramid.
I was like a brain fog.
Yeah. Something like that.
So I like that part where the cops have surrounded the supermarket and you just come pulling up in your 50 Mercury.
Yeah.
Hop right
Cops
out.
just let a guy go into a hostage situation if you have the right motorcycle. I find.
Cabretti went into the market.
That's right.
Yeah.
He said, hold up, everybody.
I also like the part where you're being chased by a whole gang of guys with machine guns and pickup trucks, but your lieutenant doesn't buy that there's more than one person. He says it's a single killer.
Yeah, he's stupid, But that's when I'm writing Cobra, you had to make, people dumber around Cobra. And Cobra's not, that smart. Believe it or not. He's all about the fists.
Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
kicks
there's not
ass.
that much upstairs. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
He's cutting pizza with scissors, let's be honest.
Yeah, but fell in love with, what the hell was her name?
Jackie Onassis Kennedy.
No,
in that film. I believe that was her.
No, the beautiful blonde.
Cameron Diaz.
No, I mean,
A
yeah.
young, very young Cameron Diaz
she's
in that film.
She's a beautiful blonde. What the hell was her name?
Natalie
Brigitte
Portman.
Nielsen.
Brigitte
Oh, that's
Nielsen. That's right. You married her in real life, I
I
think.
did marry her. One of the greatest decisions of my life.
Really?
I stand by that, yes. I stand
Were
by
they
this.
married? They were married briefly, I think.
Yeah, she was in Rocky IV playing a Russian lady.
Mm-hmm.
Did a very good job, you know? Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you didn't even see Rocky IV. By
No,
the way
I've
you
seen
do,
Rocky.
to me.
I've seen
You
Rocky
see Rocky
IV.
IV, not.
Yeah, sorry.
So it was Paulie had a butler that was a robot. You see that one?
Yeah.
It was a great film.
Yeah,
Before its time.
He drove, Lamborghini or Maserati. Can't remember what it was.
It was
Bi-turbo.
it was a Lamborghini. It was a mixture
it was
of
both?
Yeah, it was a big mixture. of
Oh,
both.
wow.
A Lamborghini.
Yeah, you guys were
SJS.
married for 3 years.
Yeah. Best years of my life.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry. News.
No worries.
Where were
Two
we?
films I don't need to see. That's great.
Oh, you've got to see.
You better see both.
You better see Cobra.
Cobra.
Okay, next. Where are we at? Chris Pratt. So, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 just came out, of course. So, Chris Pratt is getting a bunch of haters for whatever reason, but he says the thing that helps him deal with haters is his faith. Even though he's been criticized with it, but that's how he gets through the day.
Yeah. So you guys tell me what you think of this theory.
Yeah.
Because now there's an article in God. Can't remember the article.
But it's in God.
It's in God.
It's in God. There's a Politico or something like that basically said if somebody has a well-groomed lawn, they're probably conservative and Republican.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that because I grew up with a hippie mom and we had a dirt lawn with this
It
weeds
matches
in it.
the pubis of the family. What they're doing with
The
that.
pants, yes.
The pubis pants.
I
think it's just if they have a lawn.
if it's or if it's so there's tells, right? So I think the reason guys like Chris Pratt get a bunch of shit is he won't say like what his politics are, but he's a religious guy who likes to hunt. So we'll do the math for him, and then we'll decide we don't like him. But we can't say we don't like you because you voted Republican because you didn't say you voted Republican. We'll just say we don't like you, and we'll give you a bunch of shit, but it's because we know you're Republican because you hunt,
Right.
make a shitload of money, and are religious. So religious people get a ton of shit these days, not because they're religious, but because we've done the math on how they vote.
No, that's true.
And now we're getting that way with lawns.
Yeah.
What did he do? What did he hunt? What does he hunt? Does it say?
He deer hunts.
Because there's certain hunting
Yeah.
I mean, don't kill an elephant. There's like certain hunting.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't
Right.
kill an elephant.
Yeah. Like pheasants in England. It's yeah.
Wait, pheasants are good or bad?
Good to hunt pheasants. 'Cause,
Yeah.
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 Something dumb.
I'm
Foxes. I mean, fox hunting is huge in England, but they're beasts that are going to go and kill all your chickens unless you get the foxes. So
I
it's
think it's
like
a-
the chicken and egg and the fox situation.
Here's my like litmus test. It's like if you kill something and then anything in its family is devastated, you shouldn't hunt that.
Mm-hmm.
Like a monkey or like a elephant.
Like if
When you
the
kill their
family would be
baby,
upset.
You're like a whale. You're really upsetting like a bunch of things, you know?
Yeah. Well, also don't kill stuff you can't eat.
Yeah.
If you eat it, I'm not a hunter, but if you're hunting and eating, then so be it. But
Yeah.
you're right that there's certain creatures that will mourn.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Elephants will mourn,
Ugh.
and whales will mourn, and so anyone who mourns,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to kill.
Unless, you live in Barrow, Alaska, and that's how you do have food. That's okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't need to, I don't know, this is what my campaign is like going on.
All right, let's do another story.
Let's do another story. Night manager. There was a night manager that got told off, and pretty significantly for he's now we think going to be charged because he went into a hotel room at 5 o'clock in the morning and started sucking a hotel's guests' toes.
This is
wild.
Full circle, this show. Yeah.
I'm surprised
While
at
they're
what
asleep.
While they were asleep. Yeah, so he got a card cut and went in, and the guy woke up to the manager sucking his toes.
Oh, he's sucking a guy's toes.
Yes.
What the?
Well, okay, he doesn't look like the kind of guy that's capable of this. Number one.
That's what AI
Number
would have
two,
made.
I think this is an opportunity if you're staying at that hotel to order as much pay-per-view porn and room service as you can possibly do. And then when you check out, they're like, it's $781. You're like, really?
I thought you were going to say this is an opportunity if you're going to stay in that hotel to sleep at the end of the bed sideways. That's
No, I'm saying do what I did on 9/11, which is I went 100 miles an hour down the freeway.
You did?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I had to go somewhere at the end of the valley. I was driving a souped-up BMW, and I'm like, I'm going 100.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's pulling me over?
Yeah, that's fun.
This is my window for speeding in this town. Right. You know what I mean? And this is your window when this guy sucks your toes to go, look, I'm not going to say anything, but come check out. I'm going to need you to remember this. Yeah, because I'm going to rack up some charges here. I'm going to need to hit that minibar pretty fucking hard to forget. You know what I mean?
I don't think we're going to have 4 seasons, though. You're looking at a Motel 8. I don't know how much you can rack up. You watch 2 films.
Are either you're into toes?
No.
I don't.
Feet in general, the whole feet fetish thing?
We can't judge what we're into. So I don't judge people. You like what you like, but like I don't understand
The breaking and entering we judge? Yeah.
I don't judge that.
Feet when you have, I mean, in a weird way, maybe we should be more sympathetic to this because we do this thing where we go, especially historically, like we go, man, could you imagine being gay 200 years ago in this country? Like, oh, shame and quiet. And you have to marry a woman and like pretend you loved her and stuff like that, and steal away with your buddy and hope you're always looking over your shoulder. Like, but yet you're compelled to be gay. Like it's strong. That's who you are. You know. And then we go like, oh man, a man trapped inside a woman's body. You know, if you're Bruce Jenner in 1972, you know, you feel like you're a woman, but you can't say anything. Like you're going to lose your Wheaties endorsements, and you won't be in. They'll edit you right out of Can't Stop the Music with the Village People and all the big hits. And you'll lose everything. So it's like you're trapped. You know what I mean? But that's kind of who you are. That's like. You're into what you're into.
Exactly.
So it's like if you're into toes, you're just fucking you're into toes. Like some guys are in, and then we deem like what's acceptable. Like you can be into big tits. Yeah, that's fine. That's commendable. Yeah. You're into toes. You're gross fuck. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Or like you're into your own sex. Great. Fantastic. You're into kids. Oh boy. No. You need to be locked up. Like so. But it really just is what you're into. And I always feel sorry. And then there are guys that are just into pussy. And they just fucking can't stop.
Why are you staring at me?
I'm looking at you. You really your panties. Pussy.
Is sodomy still illegal in some countries? I think it is.
Talking about anal sex?
Yes.
Well, because sodomy again, covers a few different things.
Yeah. Does it?
But yes.
Oh.
It's only used for anal sex, but I think it has a broader meaning than just sodomy. We can look it up than just anal sex. But here's the whole point. Yeah. How many executives and actors and whatever just had their fucking careers destroyed because they were just huge fucking pussy hounds. Like they just, there's no such thing as them going to Atlanta for 7 weeks to shoot something without fucking some strange pussy. Like they couldn't do it. Like they had to go to the strip bar club, but that's just their thing. You know what I mean? And some stuff is good, and then some stuff we deem as bad, but that's just their
luck of the draw. It's just the luck of it. They didn't pick, this guy didn't pick feet
That's right.
That's just what is compelling him so much that he's going to risk his job, getting arrested to sneak in and suck a stranger's toes.
This guest should actually
that's
think
just
themselves
bad luck.
lucky. Think themselves lucky that he wasn't into something else.
Yeah.
So actually, as it goes, toes is the least invasive
It's
situation
also,
it could have been.
Before you fully wake up, you have to do a thing. Your brain never wants you to wake up.
What do you mean?
Your brain will go, I'd like you to sleep for 20 hours. Like your brain just wants you to sleep once you're sleepy.
Okay.
I mean, once you're in the REM. Once it's at
I'm
5.
up all night, but yeah, go ahead.
At 5 in the morning, it wants you once you fall asleep, it wants you to keep going. And so what your brain does is it will kind of justify things. Like there'll be some noise outside or something, and you'll just weave it into your dream because you can't go, oh, it's a garbage truck outside. Fuck, what time is it? Your dreams will kind of weave in shit that is happening around you so as not to alert you that you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So if somebody starts sucking on your toes at 5 in the morning,
you think you're standing on a beach and the ocean's lapping at your
or
toes.
your dog is licking your toes and you're back in your bed with your pup, you know what I mean? There has to be a brief rationalization.
But then you wake up and you see this guy.
That's right. But before that, you got a Mai Tai in your hand and you're on a beautiful sandy beach.
Yeah.
So the
it must
motto
have
is
been really
stay asleep.
And the Azure Sea at 80 degrees is licking your toes as the tide rolls in.
He's got to know he's going to wake that guy up.
I blame sitcoms and bad 80s movies for what we think we can do.
Like at least drug him first, right?
Remember in Meatballs? They're like, we're going to take the camp counselor, we're going to pick up his bed, and we're going to carry it out, we're going to put it on a kayak. Like, don't you think the guy would wake up when you were breaking into his cabin?
Yeah. So this guy saw Meatballs, is your theory.
I definitely saw Meatballs right before. And he was lulled into a false sense of confidence.
I don't get the feet because it's like the feet are smelly, and also the feet are man and women feet. They're pretty similar. You're not getting like a new thing. You know what I mean? Like
my feet are better looking than a lot of women I've been with.
See, I don't even look at their feet. I don't even want to look at their feet.
I just look at it as a stand to hold their tits up.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
They are.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
That's
I think
what
feet
they're
are like
for.
penises. They should just remain covered.
Yeah,
Feet
I
are
like
just
them in
rank.
like a high heel shoe or something, but you're not really seeing the toes, you know.
No, I think the guys who are into feet have the kind of low self-esteem, like the guys who want to get in bondage and beat on and, call her mistress, whatever, it's a self-esteem thing.
Sexuality is just so bizarre.
It's weird that we have so many different sort of directions to go sexually. You know what I mean? Like the animal kingdom just fucks in one position and they call it a day.
Yeah.
We're into I want you to shit on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you saw a couple of coyotes and one of them was just shitting on the other, you'd be like, what? Yeah, that's what he's into.
One's
That's his
vomiting,
thing.
and one's masturbating, and being vomited on. That's what we
beating
do.
Yeah, we're into a cornucopia of bizarre sex stuff that the rest of the animal kingdom is not into.
I mean, you could equate that to once. I mean, if monkeys are more intelligent, they will get more bizarre sexually. I mean, you'd hope it's not just us.
Yeah.
But maybe it is.
I think it is. All right, let's do one more.
One more. So Mark Zuckerberg won gold and silver, medals in his first jiu-jitsu tournament. I don't know if you knew he did jiu-jitsu.
Every successful, super rich guy does jiu-jitsu because there's no barrier to entry. You just go hire the best Gracie coach in the world, and he comes to your house where you've built yourself a dojo, you know what I mean? And you can do 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And you don't have any time clock to punch. You don't have to be anywhere. You know what I mean? You're just sort of independently rich. But you're health minded, like you're thinking about longevity and strength and whatever. And everyone thinks you're a nerd, so you want to twist them into a pretzel. So these guys all start getting into this stuff. That's what happens.
But typical Mark Zuckerberg, how did he win gold and silver? How do you do that in jiu-jitsu? It says
the other
he won gold and
applicants.
silver medals in the same.
Paid them off.
You paid them off, Mark?
Yes, I've made some money in Facebook.
I've seen you on your jet ski and your
Yes,
Ziffy board and stuff.
I put the sunscreen on my face like a human.
Oh, right, because you didn't want to be recognized.
Have you seen that picture?
Yeah, it's a great picture. Hey, if
that?
there's blackface, there's got to be something called whiteface.
Yeah, he does
and I'm
whiteface.
offended.
There it is. You see that?
Oh, yes.
I put it on my face like people do.
And these guys,
That is creepy.
Mark, you eat the best of all foods.
Yes.
You have professional instructors.
Yes.
And you're out there trying to just live your life. Well, when you become a billionaire at 26 and a half, don't you just have, isn't it just your job just to fucking live life to the fullest now?
No, you always want more. And that's why I'm always asking people to like and share on Facebook so I can get their data. I need more data.
Did you see that movie with you in it? The hell, the network or the social network?
Yeah,
Is that accurate?
No, that wasn't accurate at all. Those two twin monsters. It was totally my idea. And don't look at the evidence.
Oh, the Vanderplas twins or whatever those guys are.
Vanderpump twins.
Yeah.
They're into Bitcoin now, you know.
They can't do anything else.
I want to. I have like a very little bit of Bitcoin, and I think it's going to zero. Do you have any Bitcoin?
No.
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 Do you have any Bitcoin?
No. Thinking about like the NFTs and stuff are interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's been able to fully explain the NFTs to anybody. But and I don't know what's going on with all the coins out there. I don't know if it's gonna work, but the Vanderwinkle twins? Winklevoss. Yeah. You know what I love? See, this is what I'm talking about. Whether it's the royal family or Carrie Fisher's family, I love our capacity to be miserable and feel ripped off all times. Like the Winklevoss. First off, there's too much where people go, I had that idea for that reality show. It's like Mark Burnett has to execute it. Your fucking idea where you go, I had an idea for a magnet for a refrigerator that worked on stainless steel refrigerators. And you'd go, yeah, but that dude worked it out.
Yeah.
You just said somebody should have this thing. You know what I mean? There's way too much like that. Yeah, I thought I was the one that said we should have flying cars. Yeah, I know, but somebody had to pour $2 billion into R&D and fucking figure it out. You just said you wanted to fly to LAX.
Yeah.
So the Winklevosses were like, this was our idea, and then they got $80 million, and they were totally pissed off, even though they didn't do anything. Like, they had an idea when they were in college, didn't really put any legwork or money into it, and then walked away with $80 million, and they're devastated.
Yes.
That's the human condition that I love.
Yeah, you got to fight that.
You got to fight that.
Yeah, that's my advice to the Winklevoss. If they're listening, I don't know if they would listen, but